Hello guys, good evening everyone. Welcome to our daily stock market insights with Miss JD. Today is January 5th, 2020, but technically I'm recording this past midnight, so it's already January 6th, 2020. But we are going to cover the January 5th market performance in this review. And before I get started, I'd like to invite everyone, if this is your first time to watch my video, I am Miss JD. I do review the stock market, Philippine market in particular. I do review the stocks in the Philippine market based on your requests. At the same time, I also focus my discussion on the most trending stocks, highly traded stocks for any given day. So if you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're always updated whenever I have new videos. Right. So having said that, I'd like to check out some of the comments here. So these are the comments. Sometimes I'm not very active in replying back, but I definitely put a heart or I do a thumbs up. But I do read each one of those guys. I promise. Now I just want to highlight some of the comments here. So Kat mentioned here, hi Miss JD, great tutorial video for a beginner like me. Question, when you close the trade, will the profit automatically credit to your account? And this is for the video I created on how to buy and sell in eToro. So to answer your question, Kat, yes, it is going to go back to your account. So whatever amount you invested in a stock, plus the profit that you got out of that trade, will go back to your buying power, and you can either cash it out or trade it again. And so that's how you grow your money in trading stocks or whatever asset you're trading. Now, for those people who are interested to know what eToro is a platform, a trading platform similar to what we have here in BDO Nomura, COL Financial, BPI Trade. They're all the same. However, in eToro, it is a portal where you can trade other indices like the US market, European markets, cryptocurrency, and foreign exchange. You can do that all in eToro. So if you're interested to start engaging trading in this platform, I have a link down below. If you're interested to create an account there, you can use my link. When you create an account, it's technically free, right? And I think the minimum amount to start trading, if you would like to start trading, then you can deposit at least $200 as a minimum amount. But for cryptocurrency, the lowest amount you can trade would be $25. And for stocks, I think you can trade $50 per transaction. And if you do buy position, and you don't use leverage, meaning you're not going to borrow money, then there's no fee when you trade. Interesting, right? So check the video out and you'll find out. At the same time, you can check the link out down in the description box, so you can already start creating an account if you like. Okay, so I'd like to also take note of the request of PD Avicii. So these are the stocks. Okay, let me take note of that. I'll put it in my notepad so I can prioritize your request. Okay, so you wanted me to check out Tech, Maca Fruit. Furley Cruz wanted to check SEC and MAG. And Natako, Miss JD said this is for a different video. Arlene in Cali is also very consistent in dropping by and watching our videos. Nice. So these are for the previous videos. Aga nito, Miss JD. So I think I recorded this video January 4th. There. So Alan mentioned, thank you, Miss JD. So I owe Aaron this one. I need to also include this. VLL, SSI, and MWIDE. Okay, let's do that. Right, so let's get started, guys. Arlene, I will definitely include APL. There. So this is the index. This is how the market performed today. So what I am looking at the moment are actually signs of possible reversal to the downside. So this is the index. I'm using a Bollinger Band. It has three lines over here. The middle line in a Bollinger Band, I just have the default settings here. It's the 20-day moving average. I also have RSI as my main indicator. And another interesting indicator that I'm starting to look into as well would be our net foreign. So let's just add that there in case if you want to find out if there are a lot of foreign investors uh, or not. Okay, so the index for now is giving us some bearish signals. First of all, back on the 28th of December, we started crossing the MA20 line. But sometimes it's a slight overshoot and we quickly recover. And we did, right? At the moment, this is how this thing is looking or faring at the moment. Um, Look at this. So we also recovered, yes, good, but the downside is that when we recovered, this, on the other hand, became somewhat of a slight overshoot higher than the MA20 line. So we're just currently consolidating at the moment, but if we are going to continue sticking to the support area, right? If most of the movements are just going to stick down below here, chances are it will break down. You know what I mean? Because here we already recovered, but it did not sustain. So let us see tomorrow if we are going to continue moving higher than 7,102 level, then good. Plus, let's pair it with foreign buying. Because look at this, 2 days straight still selling. You know how dependent we are to the foreign investors. Each time there are a lot of foreign investors entering our market, then that's we see growth in the index stocks. So at the moment, slow moving. So I'm anticipating not a lot of good movements from our blue chip companies. So actually, what I did yesterday, I already got out of my SMC and I already not last December I started trimming down my BDO. So I'll talk more about that later on. So I started exiting some of my positions in uh, the blue chip companies because for me this is already a sign of slowing down. See this when it lifted this the performance here, the bounce is lower than the previous high. So we have just created a lower high. So the danger here is that if this breaks down, then we create a lower low, and now you have the basic components or elements of a downtrend. So watch out, 7,102 level would be our support area at the moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss tech. This is the first request. Okay, tech right now is still moving very, very slow. Foreign selling, and at this point, okay, if you're talking about short term trading, short to mid term trading, our support area is currently lying or sitting at around 6.46, and we're very near that level. Okay, and now if you're into the bigger picture, if you're looking into the bigger picture of tech and their possible growth, then I'd say our risk to reward ratio at the moment is still at a very ideal level. If you're to look at it, if I'm going to just zoom it out to see the bigger picture, okay? So now I'm in a monthly chart, meaning every candlestick represents the monthly chart, and we're just stabilizing at this point here. We're doing sideways, and you know when we see something like this happens, right? Um, After a massive decline, then you'll have sideways and then we recover. So if I'm to look back here, we also experienced the same, almost the same, but in lower peaks and valleys here. We had sideways first before it recovered. So I'm anticipating the moment we cross the MA20 line here, then chances are we could be recovering anytime soon. And notice the size of the candlesticks are starting to become smaller and smaller. That means selling is already starting to die down at this point. Let me see. We had a lot of foreign buying, and we're in the monthly chart, by the way. So November, December, the entire months of November and December, foreign buying, our foreign investors are already accumulating. Your sellers here, this is the first trading day, right? No, no, no. This is January, right? Okay, that's only worth 2 days of performance for January. So it's not the full representation of the month yet. So going back now to the daily chart, I would like to say that we are just moving sideways. So yeah, there could be slight overshoot down below the 646, but if you're to look at the bigger picture, then of course at this point decide for yourself. Would you like to average down, or if you have not entered yet, are you willing to wait? Because at this point, I can say that we are moving sideways for several days now, and 646 for me is already a good area to test out, and if you want to buy, right? Because the potential is so high. Look at that. It has dropped massively, and we all know that there are also some uh, good projects ahead of them, because I know they had deals in the US on their 5G. You just have to check out the news here. I read that in one of the news here for tech. Okay, so 646, guys, you know that. Okay, so next one would be Mac. Okay, let's take a look at Mac. Mac is still on a bearish sentiment. For me, this is still a strong trigger um, or a breakdown in the price. We're still triggering the lower Bollinger Band. In fact, today we ended outside of the Bollinger Band. And when we see that happen, that for me is a sign that the downtrend is not over yet. Okay, so we'll try to figure out as we go near some of the key levels here. For instance, I see a possible support around the 563. And let's find out still if it would respect that level. If you're interested to know why I'm plotting 563 as my support here, this is it. That's a support, and if we look backwards, there is your resistance. Each time that price level is hit, then there's a rejection that's happening. So don't be surprised, because you'll notice here there would be slightly higher or lower in that line. So that's just an area. So it could end up much higher or slightly lower. But that's the mean. Okay, 563. So stay on the sidelines for now. We're almost there. As you can see, we're almost near the oversold level. Next one is fruit. Fruit. Uh-huh. Interesting. You know how it is when we do this, like we ended slightly lower than the MA20 line. So let's also find out if this is just going to be a slight overshoot up there, because there was a consolidation that happened here as well, and this one too. So let us check if it is going to respect that key level, because when it dropped here, it recovered as well. So yeah, let's check out if 165 is going to sustain. By tomorrow, if you are interested probably in entering this stock, or um, let's say you have already entered this stock and you just want to know if it's already a perfect time to take profit. If you have not taken profit here, I suggest be very mindful of the first 30 minutes to 1 hour of the day tomorrow. If most of the movement happens below 164, chances are there will be a continuation going down. Or if you see most of the action happening higher than 165, then this could simply mean that we have just bounced within this level. and then you can haggle for a few pesos and probably take profit or few cents and test out this key level, because this is your resistance. It could again experience some difficulties breaking this key level. Yeah. Come to think of it, we have already increased the price since the month of November, and we're already halfway. Oops. We are already halfway in our climb, right? So support 164, resistance 183. SCC. Okay, let's talk about SCC. SCC for me is giving us some signs of weakness. So we started to challenge our MA20 line going down, then foreign selling happened. So I'm thinking there could be a continuation going down. Let's first test this key level. This one over here, 1261. Next possible support would be around 1196. But overall, if you are to look, if you want to see the bigger picture, our support is still at an ideal level in terms of risk to reward. Your risk is not that much versus the possible gain that you can get when you enter the stock. So this one, at one point it reached the 47 level, and it wasn't a long time ago, it was just back in 2017. Even if you are going to haggle like 25% of that, let's say you want to exit around the 20 peso level, just being conservative, if you don't want to wait too long, that could already give you, let's say, yeah, like a 60% gain. That's already very significant, and we're still far from the big potential of this stuff. So yeah, that's your call. Would you like to see the bigger picture? But of course, time is of the essence here. We don't know how long it takes for us to go as fast or go up to this level. Um, we don't know the time frame involved, right? But in the meantime, I'm anticipating a possible test or retest of the support around the 1276. If that breaks, then of course it will again test 1196. 1276 and 1196, the two possible support areas that we're looking at. Next is MAG. MAG is just be a little mindful here, because this one here, while the price moved a little bit higher, right, your RSI started declining. So for me, we're on the verge of possible continuation of a bearish sentiment here. So if this thing breaks, if it crosses the MA20 line, max is up to the 393 level. I'm plotting a support here. So if this breaks 393, then chances are it will go back to the previous key levels once again, which is around the 372. That was your previous support, and then possible drop would be 346. Okay, so hopefully the overall condition of the index will recover soon, because chances are it will just create a domino effect to the second liner stocks, right? So 393, 372, and 343 are the next possible support levels that we have. Foreign selling has been ongoing for the past how many weeks for MEG. Next one is VLL. VLL as well is giving us not so good picture. We had a slight bounce, but again, that kind of bounce is already a sign of a bearish signal. We created lower highs, and currently if this breaks the support area, okay, this is your last hurrah. Several days price has been touching this level, so that could create a support right there. But tomorrow, if that breaks, then of course what we now have is a confirmed downtrend. Look at that. It might continue moving downwards, probably do this, touch here, bounce, resist at the line, which was your previous support, and then continue going down. You can have something like that if it breaks the 454. Overall, I'm on the bearish side for VLL. Next one is SSI. SSI is also giving us some continuation, moving downwards, and 132. Yeah, that one, 135. That's the nearest support, but again, we're not that far from the support. Also, we're very near the oversold levels. Well, halfway, almost there. But if we are going to continue moving downwards, as it stabilizes around 135, we also observe how it behaves here, because this could already mean oversold level, and then that's a much better entry. Let us say if you're interested in looking at the bigger picture, this could give you a possible 40% gain. But if you're willing to wait a little longer, then it could give you a possible gain of what? Next possible resistance is around 230 with a 71% gain. Next resistance would be 281. That could give you a 110% gain. Then we try to screen some more. And let's say you're into the bigger picture and would like to stay there for 1 to 2 years, because we don't know how long it takes for this to go back to this level. Pre-pandemic times, and this just happened last year, last year, July 2019, and that could give you a 170% increase. So it's just a matter of time how patient you are in sitting on a stock. Overall, risk to reward ratio wise, our risk is still at a tolerable level. Possible or max drop would be around 1.03. This was the bottom before. So for now, I'm plotting 135 as the nearest support. There you have it. Next one is MWIDE. This stock is one of the not so good picks that I have recently added here in my portfolio. And when did I do that? This period over here. Because I thought when it dropped here and it started stabilizing, because several days actually we've been moving sideways here, and then there was a breakdown in the price. Some stocks recovered the next day, but here the recovery is just very, very minimal, and then the continuation happened. So I'm still holding on to this stock because I'm a position trader. I cannot really watch the market full time, and boom, the next day, massive drop. But then again, I still have to decide if I'm going to let this drop and stabilize around here. Maybe I will set my stop loss levels around this area, slightly lower. Okay, so that's the lowest I could, like a few cents below my support area, at least when it drops here. Maybe it could be here. Oops. 683. Maybe I could set mine at 660. How much is this? Wow. I'm okay with this kind of stop loss levels because my size here, this has the lowest size in my portfolio. So I'm willing to wait up to this level and set my stop loss lower than 684. Okay. And let's see, right? But overall, I am not minding MWIDE. The direction is still going south. Tomorrow, I'm expecting for it to go south still. But why I'm not that scared with MWIDE dropping? Because it's just an overall sentiment of the market. The company fundamentals is still there. Even though if they were not able to get the NAIA project, they still have other projects. And this stock has also dropped significantly, as you can see. So I'm just all for the bigger picture. There you have it. We're still slowly climbing up anyway. So let's watch and see. 0.12 last January. Okay, so it's also giving out some dividends here, but I don't really am not expecting a lot from that. All right, so that was for MY. Now, the most interesting part of our discussion would be the highly traded stocks. Let us talk about Dito. Okay, Dito, what did we have today? Wow, massive, massive selling. Interesting. Maybe let's see, because the foreign investors have been accumulating on this stage during this period. Imagine this. Around I'm thinking this is the area they've really uh, added a lot of volume here. You know what? I really love this when your Bollinger Band becomes constricted and it starts to open. Then when that thing happens, normally you have a significant movement going up. So at this point, with this being red, um, what do we expect? Also, this being overbought, it could first stabilize, like what happened here, right? Moves up, stabilize for a few days, maybe 3 days, stabilize here, but we don't know because we already broke the previous high. Let me verify that. Oh, not yet. Maybe we could still have some continuation here. So yeah, that's the first thing we're going to do. We have to check if it's going to create some stabilization right here, or it could continue higher, right? This could just be a one-offs, like what happened here, with just one day of red and then continue moving up again. And normally it comes in threes or twos or threes. So here 3 days straight of green, 4 days straight of green. So we could have another of that kind, even 2 days or 3 days of green, but hopefully long candlesticks, not small ones. You see that, but at the moment, still looking at the bigger catalyst of Dito. We all know that this is a third telco, and we're very, very near the launch date. So a lot of people are very excited about it. Therefore, if I see some reds here, I don't think that red is going to trigger some massive drop. It's just profit taking. There are a lot of traders. That's one thing we need to be mindful of. Dito is being traded by veteran traders. So they're just taking profit. And there could be probably the decline could reach up to 2 pesos, like 10. Let's say it would drop around 11.40, right? Let's just face it, it could still drop, but it's not going to be very, very big of a drop. Yeah, so let's see if it is going to go back to that level. In the meantime, nearest resistance will be 15.79. Okay, now here's another interesting stock. On a daily chart, we've been moving sideways here for what? Almost a month, right, of sideways movement. And today, actually since yesterday, we had a good move breaking out of this, mini Darvas box right here. I can't remember. I think I also talked about this the other day about Merry Mart. I said it's creating a Darvas box, but between the two areas, we all know that it's nice to enter at a support level, but a much better scenario is when it breaks out of this Darvas box. Then yes, good, you have a breakout play. Then yes, we had a solid green, and there was a continuation, but it did not hold. So what I am seeing here is that yes, even if there was a red today, right? Even if there was a red today, um, I think it's just a temporary, something like this, right? Massive green and then the red, and then stabilize. So it could also create another stabilization right here. We don't know. Maybe this one stabilize first and then move higher again. So at this point, we don't know where the support. I can plot my support again to this level, which was your previous resistance, and then we create a support. So I can say 643 would be the nearest support, and then chances are we could be moving sideways first before we can go up again, right? So uh, that is for Merry Mart. APL over here. Um, so we mentioned yesterday or the other day that APL is into mining, and I know DBP approved a loan for them that they can use for their venture with some company in the Southeast Asia. Okay, I think a Chinese uh, partnership. Let me just check that out. And it's in the news, guys. I know whoever's watching this are also very active in Instagrams, and I bet you guys have also read that. So, what are we trying to imply here? Okay, APL is a mining company. Price right now is at the 0.16 level. Short term wise, we could be already at the expensive level, true. But if you are to look at the bigger picture, 0.16, and um, they're going to have big projects this coming January and in the coming months. Now, with those in the pipeline, 0.16 at the moment is still very, very low, right? You see that? So, no volume previously, but volume is happening today in the past few weeks. And foreign buying, foreign investors have already started noticing this stock. In fact, so if this is them, they took profit again. I mean, if this is them who bought the stocks on this day and then took profit the next day, it's just then second day of foreign buying really hyping up or happening for this stock. It's still very early in the game, if I may say, right? Short term wise, true, it's gonna be a little bit expensive, but on the bigger picture, we have just started our game, promising stock for APL. Could be another bagger stock, right? Right. Next here would be ACEN. ACEN, January 8th is the X date, right? This stock is also has been climbing significantly for the past how many weeks or 2 months now, and that is because of renewable energy that the government is highly supporting. And foreign investors have been accumulating, and now the big red that happened today is already a sign that people are starting to take profit because a lot of them are just excited about the SRO. They just want to make sure, one, those people who exited are just purely trading the stock. Number two, expect more people exiting on the 8th of January because that's the X date. So the first minute of that day, if the system sees that you have a position for ACEN, that means you are eligible to buy more shares for ACEN at the SRO price. For every stock, no, for 1.11 shares that you hold currently for ACEN, you can buy one more share at the SRO price. So that's how it is. And I'm expecting some more dips in the coming days, especially on the 8th day, right? So let us say it'll continue to drop. My take on this is that it could possibly drop around the 6 peso area, but it won't go down to the 2 point something area, which is, I forgot the exact price, but I think the SRO price is around 2.73 or 2.76, around that level. So I don't think it'll go back to that area, but maybe halfway. So imagine if you're able to buy more shares, you're still at the game, right? So there you have it. PHA. So this is also a red, but you have some foreign buying. So I'm thinking if it is going to draw, the nearest support here is around 1.18, and then we'll quickly recover. This one as well is another hot stock at the moment. So 1.18, guys, that's our nearest support. BDO. Okay, so this is my stock. And my average here is on the 93 level, 93 something level. And as I was saying previously, I started taking profit. So before, this was the largest portion of largest allocation I have in my port, and I've trimmed it down to, as of yesterday, already at 50% down. I mean, yeah, I reduced it by 50%. Here when it was starting to move up. I think around the 108 level, I took profit, and I also took profit around the 114 level. And yesterday, I took profit around the 106 level. So I'm anticipating that it could even reach. Previously, I said around the 100 level, and I still would like to stick to that. It could challenge the 100 peso area because there is a support around that level. Okay, you see that? This used to be, where's my drawing? This used to be your support, was also tested here, and could also test it here again. Okay, now if it drops, the next area to challenge should be around 96.73. There you have it, or 97. That is your next support. Overall, the market sentiment is really uh, negative or red for most of the stocks in the index. So that's something that maybe a heads up for everyone. Ali here currently is also having a difficult time breaking this resistance. So what I am going to do now is just plot the same resistance at the same level, just in case it continues to happen. And if it breaks the MA20 line, then it could drop around the 39.96. Yeah, it could test that. But it's interesting that we have foreign buying today. You see, very tiny. It's not that much yet. Okay, 39.96. Well, what we are looking forward here is the moment it breaks this key level, then you have a breakout day. And you are already, what, halfway. Road to recovery is already halfway. So I think it's just understandable. People are just taking profit as of today. MBT is also triggering solid profit taking period. This is a solid movement going up, guys. So this has been climbing up and has reached 55%, and it's now taking profit. So I'd say stay on the sidelines. I'm anticipating MBT to also decline in the coming days, probably up to this level 43 area. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. It could be with days or weeks, but definitely it'll challenge that. This one as well, BPI. But what's interesting is the foreign buying that happened today. So if it crosses the MA20 line, right, and we end one candlestick higher than the MA20, then you have a breakout of the downtrend here. Could be here. I can draw a line coming from this level to this level, or I can draw a line from this level to this level. But one thing's for sure, we all meet around here, and what we want to do is break out of that MA20 line. Currently, MA20 is acting as our resistance, right? So one last straw, one last chance is the fact that we see foreign buying that happened today. Okay. URC. This could mean a good sign for URC. We ended higher than the MA20 line. I'm plotting the support here at the moment around the 150 level, and if that continues, then we have a good bounce there. So yeah, that one selling though. But we're still our RSI is still looking healthy stock wise. If you want to see the bigger picture, or you're banking on the bigger picture, URC is also one of the good companies. It's just that market sentiment overall is just really slow for the index stocks. JFC as well, slightly recovered. We're moving sideways here, probably stabilizing. So hopefully we just stay flat in this level and then quickly recover, right? So that is for JFC. MRC. MRC. Okay, we had a good green today. Even though we ended red, we're slightly higher still. So what I'm going to do is plot the nearest resistance here. So that could mean, oh, and we had foreign buying. So this could mean a possible continuation to the upside. Reason why it's red is because we did a gap up today, and then most of the people took profit intraday, so it ended red. But I'm still hoping that, oh, there's another possible resistance nearby. That's the nearest one. So we want to break that first. Break that first, then next resistance could be your 0.72. 52-week high. This is the 52-week high last time. Okay, it's fine. Alright, so that's your nearest resistance. Support wise, check out what happens around the MA20 line. Because we're moving higher than the MA20, then chances are our MA20 could act as our possible bounce area. Okay, so there you have it for this day. I was able to review these stocks over here, plus the ones you guys have requested. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and I really want to wish everyone good luck, and may we all have a profitable day today, which is January 6th, 2021. It's already 12:56 in the morning here. Yeah, so don't forget, if you're interested to trade the US market, guys, the link is down below. I have my eToro link there. And also, if you want to show your support to Miss JD, I have a Patreon account there. My link is also down below. So if you want to help me build this little community, it's going to be more fun if you have more people in the group. So we could make our uh, Discord livelier, you know. So there. So if you're interested to join and help me build the network, my Patreon link is down below. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching. Bye bye for now.